about Brexit on Good Evening Britain, and it went viral. And
Yeah.
it said about David Cameron with the shot us up. What are your thoughts now?
Quite poetic, that, wasn't it?
That was really poetic. That done
Same
really
thing.
well
It's
for
the
us.
same thing. Listen.
Are you bored? Are you really
Everyone is. Everyone is. You know, he needs to be held accountable for it. You know, there's no two ways about it. Where is he? I'll say it again. Where is the geezer? So, you know, it is what it is. We've got to try and get on with our lives somehow and stop talking the same. Well, listen. You know. It is what it is. It's a shame. It's a shame, you know. It's a shame. But they're just young people trying to go about their lives, you know.
Did you see it? Dyer just tore into Keir Starmer on live TV, leaving viewers stunned. The EastEnders star didn't hold back, calling out the Labour leader for his vague promises and lack of real solutions. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. But why did Dyer's outburst resonate with so many? It's not just about one celebrity's opinion. It's a reflection of a growing frustration among the British public. Stay tuned as we unpack the real issues behind this viral moment.
This whole Brexit thing, when you know, you're judging them on Brexit, they don't know nothing about it. Who knows about Brexit?
Yeah, quite.
No one's got a fucking clue what Brexit is, yeah? You watch Question Time. Let's be fair.
Oh.
I think you're referring to our former Prime Minister.
Yeah, but how comes he can scuttle off? He called all this on.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He has no regrets.
Where is he? He's in Europe, in Nice, with his trotters up, yeah? Where is the geezer? It's comedy.
Were you no clearer when Jeremy Corbyn
No,
explained
I ain't got
Labour's
a clue.
policy?
No one knows what it is. It's like this mad riddle that no one knows what it is, right? So what's happened to that twat David Cameron who called it on?
Dyer's scathing critique of Keir Starmer's leadership has sent shockwaves through British politics. The EastEnders star didn't mince words, accusing Starmer of making vague promises and failing to provide real solutions to the country's pressing issues. But Dyer's outburst isn't just celebrity drama, it's a reflection of a deeper problem within the Labour Party. Let's rewind to Labour's pre-election promises. They painted a rosy picture of affordable housing and a lower cost of living. Starmer spoke of building 150,000 social homes a year and introducing a great British energy company to cut bills. These pledges resonated with many, especially pensioners struggling to make ends meet. But how do these promises stack up against Labour's current policies? The contrast is stark. While Starmer talks about helping working families, his actions tell a different story. Take the recent controversy over Labour's $28 billion green investment pledge. Initially touted as a bold move to create jobs and tackle climate change, it's now been watered down, leaving many questioning Starmer's commitment to real change. Dyer's claim that Starmer got the job handed to him on a plate strikes a chord with those who feel the Labour leader lacks the common touch. Starmer's background as a former director of public prosecutions and his knighthood have led some to perceive him as out of touch with working-class concerns. The numbers paint a grim picture. Housing costs have skyrocketed, with the average UK house price now standing at $290,000. A 9.8% increase from the previous year. Meanwhile, inflation has pushed the cost of living to new heights, with energy bills and food prices hitting working families hard. As Labour's policies seem to drift further from their promises, many are left wondering, has the party betrayed its working-class roots? This growing disconnect is fueling frustration among traditional Labour supporters who feel left behind by a party that once championed their cause. In a surprising twist, Dyer suggested that Angela Rayner should lead the party instead. This endorsement of Starmer's deputy highlights the hunger for leadership that truly understands and represents working-class interests. As we delve deeper into this story, one thing becomes clear. The rift between Labour and its traditional base runs deeper than just one celebrity's outburst. It's a symptom of a wider disconnect that could reshape British politics for years to come. Dyer's raw call for more working-class voices in politics isn't just celebrity chatter. It's a wake-up call echoing through the corridors of power. The Labour Party, once the champion of the working class, now finds itself in an identity crisis. How did we get here? Labour's roots run deep in Britain's industrial heartlands. For decades, it was the party of miners, factory workers, and union members. But times have changed, and so has Labour. The party that once prided itself on its working-class credentials now seems increasingly out of touch with its traditional base. This disconnect is starkly illustrated by the numbers. A 2023 report reveals that only 29% of MPs come from working-class backgrounds, down from 40% in the early 2000s. It's a shift that's impossible to ignore, especially when you look at Labour's leadership. Enter Keir Starmer, a knight of the realm and former director of public prosecutions. His background couldn't be more different from the steel workers and dock labourers who once formed Labour's core. While Starmer talks about helping working families, many view him as part of the elite he claims to challenge. His polished demeanor and carefully crafted speeches often fail to resonate with those struggling to make ends meet. Dyer isn't the only celebrity calling out this disconnect. Ricky Gervais, known for his biting humor, questioned the qualifications of leaders educated at elite schools like Eton. "When are we going to stop taking went to Eton as a qualification to run the country?" he asked, voicing a frustration shared by many. This growing divide between Labour and its traditional base has serious implications for British democracy. As Dyer pointed out, the current Labour Party is no longer run by people who understand what it means to struggle. This sentiment reflects a broader frustration with political elites who seem more concerned with maintaining their positions than addressing the real issues facing ordinary Britons. The rise of celebrity critics like Dyer, Gervais, and Jamie Oliver speaks volumes. When actors and chefs are more in tune with public sentiment than elected officials, it's a sign that something in the political system is broken. These voices are filling a vacuum left by politicians who've lost touch with their constituents. As we look to the future of British politics, one question looms large. Can Labour reconnect with its working-class roots, or will new voices emerge to fill the gap? The answer could reshape the political landscape for generations to come. Danny Dyer's blistering critique of Keir Starmer has laid bare the deep-seated issues plaguing British politics. It's not just about one celebrity's outburst, it's a symptom of a wider malaise. The growing chasm between Labour and its working-class roots, the perceived elitism of political leaders, and the broken promises that litter the political landscape have all contributed to a crisis of faith in our democratic system. But where do we go from here? Can the Labour Party reconnect with its traditional base? Or are we witnessing the death throes of working-class representation in UK politics? The answers to these questions will shape the future of our nation. As Dyer pointed out, promises were made to the public, and time again, they've been broken. It's time for us, the voters, to demand better. We can't afford to be passive observers in our own democracy. Whether it's attending community meetings, engaging with local representatives, or joining grassroots organisations, there are countless ways to make our voices heard. The future of British politics isn't just in the hands of the Danny Dyers and Keir Starmers of the world, it's in ours. Are we ready to take up the challenge?